A metalcore singer gets his gooch grabbed, Warped Tour makes his big comeback, and how did President's first show go? All that more on this week's episode of
The Jesse Lee Show. Oh, oh. The Jesse Lee Show. Oh, oh. The Jesse Lee Show. Oh, oh. The Jesse Lee Show. Jesse Lee Show.
Hey, it's me, Jesse Lee, aka Music News Daddy. If you're new around here, please bang your head on that follow button or that subscribe button, whichever you prefer, whichever platform you're consuming this on. And why don't you go ahead and leave 5 stars. If you're listening to this or watching this on Spotify, drop that 5-star rating, baby. And form a little mosh pit in the comments section if you want. Get crazy with it. Today's lead story, Sleep Theory frontman Cullen Moore said he had to kick a fan in the face because she wouldn't stop groping him. Man, according to Cullen, he posted this on his Instagram story. He said the fan finger blasted him, grabbed his nuts, and rubbed it all up on his gooch. My God. Come on, people. This is a metalcore show, folks. It's not a bachelorette party. Good Lord. I mean, at least, stuff some singles in his waistband while you're at, give him some gas money. These bands are out there struggling already. They're already trying to make ends meet on the road. You don't get paid a lot for these club shows. If you're gonna, can I say that on here? Is that gonna get me flagged? Let's bleep out that word, my editor Jack. If you're gonna be gooch grabbing, at the show, at least give the band some gas money, drop them some tips. So Sleep Theory had a show in Madison, Wisconsin, and during their set, frontman Cullen Moore, he went on to the crowd as he usually does. He kind of goes out and stands on people's hands and gets in there, really, really gets in there in the nitty-gritty with the fans. And one fan got a little extra handsy, according to Cullen. He asked her to stop. He says he'd, turn around. He actually stopped the song, apparently, to tell her to stop, and she just kept grabbing. So he had no choice, he felt. He had to defend himself, and he posted this whole story on his Instagram story. So, of course, that's, gone now because it's, goes away after 24 hours. But I just screen grab a little bit of it just because, I feel like I could tell you what happened, but Cullen's telling of it, the dude's a natural born storyteller. I feel like I need him telling what happened. You need to hear this insane tale coming straight from Cullen's mouth. So here it is.
But whoever that atrocity is that thought it was okay, that whenever I get out in the crowd and I'm trying to have fun and connect with you guys as my fan base, that it's okay to finger blast me and grab my nuts and rub my gooch and do all that other extra stuff after I kindly turned around and stopped singing the song and looked her in the face and said stop, and she kept doing it and she did right now. You should have expected me to kick you in your jaw.
He also shared some pictures afterwards, after this whole thing went down. Shared a picture of the fan, the alleged fan grabbing. It caught in the act, quite literally. Caught with her hands full. Literally. I mean, man, she really got all up in there. Like, what are you even grabbing at? Like, why you, like, what kind of, like, weird kink, I'm not trying to kink shame here, I can't think like that, but what kind of, like, ball twisting fetish do you have to be grabbing on a lead singer like that who's just trying to perform for you? Ugh. Looks painful, man. I wonder how often this happens, though, because, we hear about this happening a lot to female artists on stage and in the crowd and stuff, getting, inappropriately touched. It's completely terrible, completely awful. But I wonder how much it happens to, like, male performers, and they just don't talk about it. Because I feel like guys, we have this, like, expectation that it's, like, okay that if we're harassed and we're assaulted. I'm not trying to be like, oh, woe is me, men have it hard or anything like that. But it is kind of it does feel like guys don't get it does feel like men sometimes are expected to kind of take it a little bit more, I feel like. And so I wonder how much this happens on stage with bands, how many artists are out there getting accosted, getting their gooches grabbed, and they're not saying anything about it. The following night, Colin said he posted another story the next day. So the following night they were doing a meet and greet, and some fan put her finger in her mouth, licked her tongue, and then shoved her finger, put her Regina phalange right into his mouth. Like, ugh. Come on, man. I don't even like putting my own fingers in my mouth, man. That's where germs live. It's like I tell my 6-year-old, you keep your fingers out of your nose, mouth, ears. Like, that's how you get sick. So much less somebody else's strange hands going in your mouth. Like, and on top of that, if this is the type of person that's gonna just randomly shove their finger into your mouth, that's not the kind of person you want shoving your finger. The kind of person that's unhinged enough to just put their finger in a stranger's mouth is the kind of person that probably doesn't wash their hands a lot. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's not something you want. So I know there's probably a lot of dudes, not a lot of dudes, but there's probably a small section of dudes listening and watching this right now. They're just saying, like, please, somebody touch me. Like, I want this. I want somebody to put their fingers in my mouth. And I get it. You know, as a male race, we're kind of gross and horny all the time. I get it. But you know what we're talking about here. It's consensual. Like, you still don't want a stranger grabbing on you and inappropriately touching you. I mean, even like when I take photos with people, if I, because I'm very famous, I'm very popular and people want to hang out with me. But no, anytime I get any photos taken with like people I meet at shows or whatever, like I mean, no one's been weird with me yet, but even when I'm taking photos, I try to, keep my hands where everyone can see them, just because I don't want anything misconstrued. I don't want anything, alleged. I like to keep like, 10 and 9 if I could, if I could just keep if I could take a photo with you and keep my hands in front, like I don't want anybody like suggesting anything, if my hands are like behind the back. Sometimes I kind of do the hover hug, I mean, if it's somebody I know, obviously I'm not gonna be a fucking weird. That'd be pretty weird if I met somebody or if I ran into somebody that I haven't seen in a while at a show and they're like, let's get a picture. And I was like, yeah. And I did like the weird hover hug. That would be odd. But no, I'm saying like people I meet that day, brand new, I try to just like feel it out. I don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable and I don't want anyone making me feel uncomfortable. So I think that's a good way to go about it. The moral of the story here is just don't be grabbing gooches. All right. Don't be finger blasting the lead singer of your favorite band just because you like their music a lot, just because you're a big fan of their songs and the way they perform. It's not a dancing bear show, okay? And that joke is funny if you are a sexual deviant and know what the dancing bear is. If not, then yeah, I don't know, you spend your time doing probably wholesome things. All right. Speaking of this past weekend, that wasn't the only that was the only Gooch grabbing story I got for you from this past weekend. But I do have a lot of insane festival news from this past weekend. I mean, a lot of shit went down. Bonnaroo got canceled. Sleep Token headlined their first download festival, first festival ever. Warped Tour returned. So Bonnaroo actually was started on Thursday, and it got canceled after one day due to severe weather. Bonnaboo. I feel super bad, honestly. It's a bummer, especially for like Megadeth fans who were there camping. There were just because, I mean, Megadeth was headlining on, one of the headliners on Friday night. And there were a lot of people that said they showed up for Megadeth because that's their only festival show this year. So, I mean, that sucks to go camping. You shouldn't, if you're going to have to shit in the woods and shotgun cold beans from a can, you should at least get to see your favorite thrash band, not just go home with poison ivy on your bunghole. Hey, a bunghole. Okay, so that's kind of Gooch related. That's Gooch adjacent, if you will. So Bonnaroo posted on their page on Friday. Said officials said today, the National Weather Service provided us with an updated forecast with significant and steady precipitation that will produce deteriorating camping and egress conditions in the coming days. The statement reads, "We are beyond gutted, but we must make the safest decision and cancel the remainder of Bonnaroo." Bonnaroo again. They issued refunds to people, or they're planning on issuing refunds to people for up to 75%. If you bought single day passes, then all the days that you didn't get to go to, you're getting back. But if you bought a 4-day pass, you're getting a 75% refund because you still got to go to one day. Technically, one day happened. It would suck if you bought a 4-day pass and didn't go to the first day because you didn't care about the bands. You were just planning on coming to the 3 days. So you really spent money on nothing. But maybe that means you didn't end up showing up for that first day at least. So maybe it saved you some gas money. I mean, a lot of fans are pissed. A lot of fans are saying they should get 100% back. It'd be like if you ordered a sandwich and they brought out 25% of it and then only gave you a 75% refund. Like or if they'd fuck up 25% of your meal and only gave you a 75% refund, you'd want the whole, this sandwich analogy is kind of getting away from me here, but you know what I'm saying. I do agree on Coachella with the fact that they did put on a whole day of the festival. I mean, there are costs involved with that. They did have to pay these artists to come out there and perform. Day one still happened. So, I mean, if you were there for day one, I don't think it's fair for you to get the entire thing for free. But I can also see the other side of things, like of being a fan. And like I said, Maybe you didn't give a shit about day one. Maybe day one was just, yeah, okay, I'm going to pay for the package because I want to see these 3 days. And the first day is like, whatever, but it's part of the package. So I can see both sides of it. It's a huge, I'm going to stop using this pun. I'm going to stop, playing on the Bonner Bummer words after this, but it was Bonner bad. Okay. It's Bonner bad for everybody involved. And that's the last one I'm going to use. That's the last time, maybe. I don't know. I might have some more in the chamber. We'll see. That's what she said. Something I did want to show, though, is a video of this girl who was at Bonnaroo. And so here's her first video where she is showing her camp and her setup. And this is on day one, I believe.
Welcome to our Bonnaroo group camp. I am so excited. Our campsite turned out
She's
so
very
epic
excited.
this year. This is our big living room area for everyone to hang out. We have a little bit of open space right now because we still
Beautiful
have people
setup.
arriving and all
These
of our
digs are
campers
top
gonna go
notch,
around.
honestly.
This little room is going to be our getting ready area for
So she's
everyone to
showing
do
it all
their
off.
makeup together.
It's about a minute of
And then we
that.
have
She's
a
very
kitchen
excited.
for everybody and everybody's bed.
And then she posts a follow-up video when the rains start coming down in Bonnaroo.
It's freaking pouring, but we're staying dry, y'all. We're staying dry.
They're staying dry. They're
We've got our
staying
kitchen area all the way
optimistic.
dropped, both of them. And then this is the center area that has the giant 30 by 30 tarp over it. We've got our shower curtains. We dropped all of our canopies down, and we have our giant tarp over the whole thing.
They're making the
This
best of it,
tarp is in
right?
the center, holding it up just to create a high point. And then we have this tied as like a ditch, a gutter, so that the water is just running off into it. And we're feeling pretty secure. We're feeling pretty secure. Guys, just got canceled.
I'm sorry. Okay, if you're not able to watch this now, it's cut to her sobbing after the realization of And I'm not trying to dunk on her because obviously that sucks. That was a terrible situation that happened. But it was just so funny that like the juxtaposition, like the abrupt changeover, like, hey, look at Bonnaroo, cut to sad cry, like just sobbing again. Feel super bad for her. I am damn it, I did another one. I'm not trying to make fun of her. I'm not trying to give her shit or like, again, I feel super bad that happened. But come on, the jump from the excitement, all happy, everything bright and shiny, and showing it off to the cut to the sobbing. So sad, unfortunate. Warped Tour made its triumphant return for its 30th anniversary. It went down in Washington, D.C. It's going to be, they have another festival in Long Beach next month, and then Orlando in November. I'm thinking I need to hit the Orlando date in November because there are not a lot of music festivals in November, not a lot in the wintertime in general. I'm always looking for a reason to get away from the snow here in Cleveland and, go hit Orlando in November. I think it's the way to go. I saw they posted a big, giant inflatable set times. Just seeing the picture of that just made me start sweating. There's very few photos that you can see that will produce a visceral sweat, like an actual, like a real reaction, like a physical sweating reaction, like something like seeing like something on fire is one of them. But seeing those inflatable set times, I automatically feel the Monster Energy drink coursing through my veins. Let Liv's Jason Allen Butler. He stripped down to his underwear and scaled what looks to be like a 30-foot speaker tower just to close things out. Just got all the way up there to the top. Post a photo over here. Looks like a badass OSHA violation. Of course, there were a lot of different Trump protests throughout the weekend from different bands playing. I know Wonder Years and All Time Low were part of that. The Army was doing their anniversary celebration in D.C. that same weekend, which is a wild weekend to have a punk festival in the same city. Like, what are the odds? It's almost like they planned it. But other than that, it really doesn't look like anything crazy happened at the festival. It looked like just a lot of great performances, a lot of bands, huge lineup of bands that played and just went off pretty well. There wasn't any, I didn't see any other news stories of any kind of drama or anything unfolding. I'm sure that will change. By the time this podcast is even out, I'm sure it'll change. That's what always happens. I record an episode and then like 10 minutes after I hit upload, news comes out and everything's bullshit. Everything I said is useless. But I'm sure, as more footage and more stories are being posted from Warped Tour, we'll find some more like fun things that happened. But as of now, it looked like it was just a very successful festival. Download Festival also happened this weekend, did not get canceled. Sleep Token headline for their first time ever. There's a first time headlining Download. I believe it's their first time headlining any festival at all. unless they performed at like some kind of rib burn off in their early days or something like that. I think this is the first festival headliner. President played their first show ever that night. It was a big day for masked bands, at Download Festival. And speaking of, we got to finally see President, the masked, mysterious band President, live for the first time, of course. And we got to see that mask up close and personal. Well, those people that were there did anyway. And man, that mask looks bad in the daylight. Well, I mean, we talked about this ad nauseum last week about how I enjoy the band President. I just hate that mask. I don't think the mask looks good. Seeing it in daylight did not do it any favors. As my buddy Matt Bunting said, they need a mask for that mask. Unfortunately, it's not good. It's no better than it was. I had high hopes. I was hoping like maybe the music video just didn't do it justice. But nope, still looks bad. I still like the songs. I still think the music is cool. I still think the whole story, the President angle, the lore, the mysteriousness of it all, I like it. I'm on board with all of it. Don't like that mask. And then the President singer, who everyone believes is Charlie Simpson from the band Busted, the UK band Busted. But you and I know better. We know without certainty. Obviously, the singer is boxing legend Mike Tyson. We already know that the band was originally called President. We've discussed this again last week. But a lot of people believe it's actually Charlie Simpson from this band Busted. And they, I guess, they spotted the singer for President jumping into a helicopter. And then someone tracked the helicopter. I don't know who's out there tracking aerial coordinates and watching aircrafts and whatnot. But somebody tracked apparently this helicopter's location. Which I don't know, did you what did they put like an air tag on the thing or something? And then they tracked it to the Summertime Ball, which is also another festival in the UK that Busted was playing at. So they think that Charlie Simpson finished his President set, which was kind of early in the evening. And then fucking helicoptered his ass to another festival. And I saw somebody posted a photo of Charlie Simpson playing with Busted, and he's wearing the same bracelet that the President singer had on. Man, that's like when Chad Gable from WWE, it's like when people allege that he is El Americano, Grande Americano. And this is some nerdy wrestling stuff. People not interested, you're going to skip over this. But it's like when El Grande Americano wore Chad Gable's boots for some reason. Well, if they're not the same person, why are they sharing boots? That doesn't make any sense. So yeah, all signs are really heavily pointing towards Charlie Simpson. This one, unfortunately, my Mike Tyson theory is starting to come apart at the seams day by day. All right, some big personal news here. The reason why this podcast episode might be a little shorter than usual, but I'm going to France to cover Hellfest. I'm going to be doing interviews, event coverage. I might eat a croissant with corn. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm teaming up with the Diablo video game. We're the official streaming partner for Hellfest. So there's going to be interviews, again, behind the scenes content, giveaways. It's all going down on the Hellfest Twitch channel. If you want to go check that out, follow along, keep up with what we're doing. Of course, I'll be posting a bunch of stuff on my socials as well. But yeah, I'll be seeing, look at this lineup. I'm going to be seeing Linkin Park, so we can all argue about the new lead singer again. I'm going to get rocked like a hurricane by the Scorpions. I'm going to try to survive a notch loose mosh pit. Falling in Reverse is there, so hopefully Ronnie Radke doesn't roast me. Electric Callboy is there, so I'm going to try to find Tank the Tech and see if I can give him a content creator fist bump that shakes the internet right to its core. It'll be my first time seeing Judas Priest. There's just too many to go through. Too many. I'm actually really stoked for all these small font bands. All these tiny font bands I've never heard of. I'm assuming a lot of them are local to the France area. A lot of these France bands here. I can't wait to check these bands out because they're going to be, I'm assuming, pretty good. And then I can brag about seeing them before they were popular, Oh, I'm going to be insufferable. Like one day you're going to hear about this one tiny band that is now, one day one of these tiny bands is going to blow up and be huge. I'm going to be like, yeah, well, when I saw them in France, they were even better in France. Oh, I'm gonna be the worst. Oh, seriously. I've never been to Hellfest. I've never been to Hellfest before. I keep wanting to call it Hellfest, and I think that's cool. There should be some kind of punching situation at Hellfest. Not me. I don't want to be punched. But I'm just saying, like, the Hellfest, you know, or the Hellfest, something like that. But yeah, I've never been to Hellfest. It looks like it's Disney for metalheads, is what I hear. I'll post some videos over here so you can check it out and see what that looks like. But I've never been to France either. So if there's any French words that you suggest that I use, you know, let me know. Any ones I need to learn. Besides oui, I do know that one because it's awesome and hilarious. But yeah, other than that, I'm just going to go wherever the French horn blows me, you know? I can't wait. All right, some new releases this week. Blessed to Fall released Metalcore, and they announced a new album called Gallows. This upcoming album is the Metalcore band's long-awaited follow-up to their 2018 album, Hard Feelings, and it's scheduled to come out in September this year via Rise Records. All Time Low, who we talked about earlier, they have released a new song called Sucker Punch, and also toward Mayday Parade, The Cab, 4 Year Strong, and The Paradox, which those guys are very awesome. If you have not checked out The Paradox yet, awesome little pop punk band. They're all black, and I'm only saying that because they pointed out constantly they call themselves a Black 182. The singer calls himself Tom Dick Long. It's very funny stuff, very, very on brand, so go check it out. The band Orbit Culture, I've been hearing a lot about these guys a lot lately. A lot of people have been hyping them up, and they released a new song called Death Above, and it's heavy, man. It's cool stuff. This might be the next big band in metal. I think Orbit Culture could possibly be the next one we're all talking about. Like, maybe, I don't know if it's gonna be like the next like Knocked Loose situation or not, but it's a heavy band that a lot of people seem to be pretty excited about. So I don't know, keep an eye out for those guys. 21 Pilots released a new song called The Contract, which is the first single from their upcoming album Breach, dropping in September. I used to love 21 Pilots, and I'm not saying I don't like them now, but man, their older stuff, you know, Vessel, that album came out in 2013, and that was album of the year for me. I loved that album. And then they dropped Blurry Face, and they went like super poppy, and it just kind of like lost all of its edge for me, you know? And it was a great career move on their part. Like, don't get me wrong, they should 100% have done what they did and went that direction. I'm not saying they should not change for me, because they're very, very successful at what they're doing right now. It just kind of lost me a little bit. You know, I missed that I guess that more aggressive sound they had before they, you know, they were never a metal band or anything like that, but I don't know, they just had a little bit more edge to them. And then now they're like, and they're in some kind of like 5 album arc concept situation where like it's this big long running story, and like I haven't been keeping up with it. I feel like it's like trying to watch a movie on the you know, starting with like the third one in or something like that. Yeah, it's like, or like trying to watch a movie 45 minutes in even. Like, I don't know. I have to go back and really follow the lore, and that seems like a lot of work. But this new song, The Contract, it has a lot of those elements, a lot of those older elements. It has a lot of the newer ones too. Kind of Frankenstein all together. I mean, it's not my favorite song from 21 Pilots, but I like how they've kind of used a lot of their different influences on this one song, or a lot of their different sounds, I guess, on this one song. But I mean, it just it's not what I love about 21 Pilots. I like the band. It's just not. I want to hear more stuff like the old stuff, which makes me sound like such an insufferable hipster, but it's just true. And like, again, don't change for me. Not that 21 Pilots would, but you know, they're doing the right thing here. They're mega, mega successful and have millions of fans that very much enjoy what they're doing. So don't change anything on my account, guys. Like, you guys got it on lockdown. But I asked my Instagram story at Jesse Lee what you guys thought about this. If you would give it 1 star, 2 star, 3 stars, or 4 stars. And because you can't put a 5-star option on there, unfortunately, but you can put a 5-star option on this podcast if you want to drop that 5-star rating. But I asked how many stars you would give it. 40% of you said 4 stars, which is the highest rating stars you can drop. So the majority of people seem to really enjoy this new song. And I mean, I'm looking forward to hearing, like I said, after hearing that track, I'm definitely looking forward to hearing more of this 21 Pilots album. And then maybe once this whole concept shit's done, you know, I'm not trying to say like let's get past this or anything, but I'm just saying like maybe once that's all done, we can get back to a Vessel sound. Yeah, probably not, you know, but it'd be cool. Let's see here. A couple more things I want to get into before we get out of here. According to a new Netflix documentary, The OceanGate Disaster, a new documentary about the OceanGate disaster, CEO Stockton Rush wanted Pearl Jam to be inside of that Titan submersible, the one that imploded and killed people. He wanted Pearl Jam to be in there, man. Dude must have really hated Even Flow. Papa Roach frontman Jacoby Shattuck says a new single is coming from the band in mid-June, which it's June 16th as I'm recording this, so I don't know how much more mid of June we're going to get before we get that new song, but he said mid-June, I love it, though. I can't wait. Nothing hardens my nipples faster than new music from a kick-ass band. I'm slicing up my shirt right now just thinking about it. Can't wait. Speaking of Linkin Park, we talked about earlier, they teamed up with Haribo for a limited edition line of Gummy Bears. Not exactly the kind of gummies most people at concerts are used to, probably. Gonna be a lot of sober people getting a gummy passed to them and wondering why they're still not fucked up. A lot of people eating gummies, wondering why they're still stressed out about work. So I mean, you gotta be careful when you pass those around. Let them know that's not the kind of gummy you're thinking about to get, but it's still cool. Let's see. Oh, speaking of shows, a new report says drinking less at shows is what's hurting smaller concert venues. They say Gen Z specifically are not drinking enough at shows, and the concert venues are suffering because that's where obviously a lot of these venues make the bulk of their money, especially like the smaller shows, after they pay the band and stuff, the alcohol sales are where they're making a lot of their money. So they're saying these venues are having trouble operating because people just aren't partying enough. They're not drinking enough, And I knew it. I knew I didn't have a problem. I'm just trying to do my part to stimulate the local venue economy. All right. It's if I have a problem, it's that I care too much about the small businesses in my town not to get shit-faced and take an Uber home, okay? And pass out on the front porch. That's my only problem. The song that changed everything for a generation, Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit, has officially hit 2 billion views on YouTube. And I can't think of a single metric that Kurt Cobain would care about less, honestly. And obviously, YouTube wasn't around when Kurt Cobain was around, so that'd be an obvious reason why you want to care about it. But also, Kurt Cobain just didn't seem like the kind of cat that cared about numbers and metrics and stuff like that. He didn't seem like he really paid attention to that stuff. Probably because he didn't have to, because they were making millions of dollars. But I just imagine today, I would love to know what it'd be like if I would love for Kurt Cobain to be around for many reasons, but I would love for him to be around now and some interviewer, some dipshit like me ask him, like, what does it feel like to have 2 billion streams on YouTube? And him just be like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't give a shit about any of that. Metallica just dropped their massive load. Oh yeah. Seriously, this is a huge load. I'm gonna put a photo up here, right here. Just look at that. Look at Kirk Hammett. His hands are practically overflowing with load. Ooh. Yeah, the remastered box set version of their 1996 album Load, obviously. I don't know what you were thinking, but yeah, they dropped that. It's got a lot of bonus content. It's got 245 unreleased songs on it. You want 4 versions of Ain't My Bitch? They got that. It's something for the super fans. I would like to get my hands on this load one day. Also, funny story, as I was researching this massive load, I found out the album cover. I'm going to post this right here. Open up your screen so you can see. That cover, it looks like a painted fire or something like that, right? Or maybe a lava lamp. Well, that's jizz and blood. It turns out that's real ass jizz and blood, I think from a cow possibly, but that's real jizz and blood all swirled up on a album cover. That's what Load is. That's fucking awesome. I mean, I like the album even more now. Anyone that says the band sold out and said that Load was too tame, too, commercial, they put jizz and blood on their cover, man. Come on. Put some respect on Metallica's name. All right, let's get into some Q&As, all right? Redman on Spotify asks, what's your album of the year so far? Man, that question is always so hard to answer. I really enjoy the Sleep Theory album right now. The New Architects. I actually really like the A Day to Remember album a lot. I feel like we don't talk about that one nearly enough. That's a great album. The new Ghost album, not Sleep Token. Okay, I'm not to like shit on Sleep Token, but I'm not. I know everyone's expecting me to say Sleep Token, but Sleep Token is not. I can tell you what my album of the year is not. It's not the Sleep Token album, even in Arcadia. Again, not crapping on it, but I'm just saying it's not my favorite album of the year. So I know that's gonna be the one that everyone is waiting for like opinions on for the album of the year list. But for me, yeah, no, the Sleep Token, even in Arcadia album is great. but it's not my favorite album of the year yet. Let's see. Billy Boy 716 G8A. All right. Man, these usernames. Billy Boy 716-G8Y on YouTube said, my question, what were your thoughts on Sonic Temple this year? I'm in high school and it was my first festival. It was the best weekend of my life, but I don't have any experiences to judge it off of. How does it compare to others you've been to? Dude, it was awesome. Yeah, the Danny Wimmer festivals are like a freaking masterclass in how a music festival is supposed to run. I mean, they're always just so smooth, and like I'm not trying to like glaze anybody here, and I also don't want to say like hype it up too much, and then like karma like bites me in the ass or something like that. But these festivals are always so well run, like a oiled machine, man. They know what they're doing here with these Danny Wimmer festivals. And yeah, Sonic Temple was a great weekend. I had an awesome time. I'm looking forward to Incarceration next month. Incarceration is always a great time. And I think Sonic Temple was even better than past Incarcerations just because, like, I don't know, I really like the layout of Sonic Temple. Like, don't get me wrong, Incarceration is cool because it's at a prison and stuff, but like it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Sonic Temple is like in the heart of Columbus. So I really like that a lot. But yeah, you're right. Sonic Temple was a great weekend. Gaber Moser Music on Instagram said, do you think Sleep Token and President are connected? I think it's already been proven that they are, right? Like they already have like the same management or like same booking agent or something like that. They're already connected. They're both from the UK. So yeah, they're absolutely connected. I believe in some way they're connected. I don't think President is Sleep Token, of course, because he's Mike Tyson, obviously. Chris L. Lang 91 on Instagram said, could you also have your playlist available on Apple Music? Dude, I wish I could. Honestly, I get that question kind of a lot, but I can't update the songs on both platforms. It takes so long to make sure the songs are the same order on both platforms because you have to individually add them and sort them and stuff. And I have so many playlists on Spotify to have them all on Apple Music. I guess I could have like one or two on Apple Music, and then like maybe do like the new Music Friday and like the top 10 countdown on Apple Music. But man, keeping the Spotify playlists organized and up to date is tough enough. Trying to do it on another platform, okay. Let me know in the comments if you want me to at least do one playlist on Apple Music. Don't start bringing that Deezer, D's Nuts, Amazon, all that shit. Don't start coming at me with that. I will maybe do an Apple Music playlist if there's enough of a demand for it. Let's see. DanManny.art on Instagram said, are you going to talk about Grass Pop? I think it's on TikTok, actually. It said, are you going to talk about Grass Pop since it is one of the biggest metal festivals in the world? You always only speak about American sets, American festivals. Sorry. Oh, you always only speak about American stuff. The irony was this comment was posted on my post about Download Festival, which was not an American festival. So I don't only talk about American stuff. Clearly, I talk about lots of stuff. But yeah, I'm sorry. I don't post about every single festival out there. Maybe I should have brought up Grass Pop. I don't even know who's on Grass Pop. Who's on Grass Pop? Let's see. Oh yeah, this is a big one. Grass Pop's got Iron Maiden. It's got Iron Maiden, Slipknot, Korn, Falling in Reverse. Hell yeah. That's a great lineup, man. So Grass Pop, June 19th. Oh shit. That's coming up next weekend. Well, don't go to that. Go to Hellfest and hang out with me instead. But no, Grass Pop is in where's this even at? What is this in Australia? It's in Belgium. All right. Well, if you're in Belgium, I guess go to Grass Pop because yeah. That sounds like a badass festival to go to. So there you go. Hey, I talked about some not American stuff for you. Even though you were commenting on a post I made about a festival in the UK, not in America. I'm just saying, devotion to accuracy here. And let's see. Let's go into one more question here. See, Jack Backwoods on Instagram said, how long you been gymming? I'm assuming you mean going to the gym. Unless this is some kind of new fad gymming, like some kind of like planking situation, which I'll honestly I do planks at the gym too sometimes. But How long have I been gymming? Man, I don't know, dude. I've been going to the gym for, like, realistically, I've been like working out and into fitness, I guess you want to call it, for like 20 years or something at this point. No, not that long. I'm not that old. Wait a minute. More like, I'm gonna say like 15 years, maybe. I've been like working out and stuff, but I would say like taking it seriously, like actually dialing in my diet and actually making it like part of my routine and making sure I'm going 5 to 6 days a week. I would say about the last 10 years, probably. Um, and that's just like, again, trying really hard and like, as far as like trying to eat healthy and make it to the gym. But then as far as like goals of like, because for a long time I was just working out. I was just working out, eating, and just like trying, and then just like I was lean, and I was happy, and I was just I felt healthy, felt good. That's all. But in the last like year or two, probably about the last 2 years, is when I started trying to actually change my body. Try to get bigger, try to grow. I did a cut last summer and got abs for the first time in my life. Suck it. I don't care. Everybody that commented and said I had skinny boy abs, I don't care. They were abs nonetheless. I got them. I took the picture and I ate a fucking burger afterwards because I was, I was done with that cut. Right now I'm on a perpetual bulk. I'm trying to grow right now. So I've been on a bulk since last fall. And I thought about cutting again this summer, but I'm just gonna let it roll, because I'm not trying to, I don't know. What am I gonna do with abs? What am I gonna do with them? You don't do anything with them. Like when you have abs, it's not like you just walk. I mean, I guess you could walk around with your shirt off or something like that, but I don't know. There's no point. So yeah, I'm on a perpetual bulk. I'm gonna keep bulking until I get to the size I want, and then maybe cut back a little bit because I do have a nice little cupcake belly forming right now. Is that it? Is that all we got? I gotta get going, man. I gotta start packing and shit. But all right, well, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for kicking with me here at the Jesse Lee Show. Again, bang your head on that follow button and that subscribe button wherever you're listening, watching, consuming this podcast at. Please leave that 5-star rating on whatever platform you're consuming it on, Spotify, Apple Music. Give me all the love. Hook me up. Above all else, be sure to share this episode with somebody that doesn't suck. All right? Take it easy now, and bye-bye.
The Jesse Lee Show.